Another way you can help your team win more games is by destroying deployables. What I mean is Namor Squid, Moon Knight Unk, the Penny Nest, Brute Wall, Rocket Beacon, and even Punisher Turret. And if you're fast enough, you can destroy Elsa Bloodstone's trap as well. This should be one of the main priorities of a DPS player. Tanks can also help as well. If you're a healer, this is one of the last things you should do, but it doesn't mean you should never do it. This is how you can win 80% of your ranked matches by doing something that literally takes less than 10 seconds. When you're playing the objective and the timer is about to run out, or the progress bar, go back to your spawn room, switch to Doctor Strange, walk out, hit your teleport button, drive it to the objective as fast as possible, place it on point. This allows you to get a guaranteed overtime and an extra fight. Your healers can also heal from the portal in safety if they choose to. If you're playing a duelist or a tank, remember that you can combo with your teammates by waiting for their ult to pop and then using it at the same time. Good example would be Moon Knight and Groot, Groot and Namor, Star-Lord and Gambit, Emma and Hawkeye, and if you can set it up, Doctor Strange using his portal tech, and Wanda. You can actually win more games just by shooting parts of the map with your chronovision enabled and give your ranged characters better sightlines on the enemy team. Now each map is different, they'll have different effects that can happen once you break these objects, or even give hidden pathways. Another way you can win more games is playing into the enemy comp the best way. Now you're not going to know this immediately, but after you start your first fight, you can kind of gauge what heroes they're using and you can adjust accordingly. This is called counterpicking. Now the most egregious way to tell that this is going to work against the enemy comp is if you run a brawler comp in melee heroes and the enemy team is running flying heroes, you're obviously going to be at a disadvantage because you can't reach them. So if you change a few heroes around that have range attacks or weapons or hit scan, now you can engage the flyers. Now this doesn't mean you need to change your comp around completely from top to bottom, tanks, DPS, healers. There's a few instances where you actually do that, but usually it's a one tank swap or one DPS swap should fix the problem. And there's always going to be argument about poke, dive, and brawl, and who counters who, this and that. It's all a revolving circle. The heroes all have one little special trick to get the edge on the other one, and it's always going to be a skill matchup. But generally speaking, usually the heroes that have an easier time fighting the other heroes is going to be a better pick in that situation. Best example of this will be Thing, Rogue, Mr. Fantastic, and Daredevil going up against an all-flyer comp, Storm, Torch, Ultron, Angela, etc. Not every matchup is going to be black and white. The more you play the game, you'll understand this and hopefully adjust accordingly. Another way you can win more games is by shooting enemy ultimate. This can help your team stay alive in the fight and most of all give them the advantage. I'm talking about Rocket, Elsa, White Fox, Squirrel Girl, and Hela. Outside of that, anyone that has a health bar, when they ult, you can destroy it if you have a ranged hero. This will work a lot better. And if you all burn it down as a team, it'll be gone in a couple seconds. Another way you can win more games is by peeling for your support. Now this comes into play when you're on support as well. You can heal each other when you're in trouble and when you're getting dove. And the tank and DPS role can peel for you as well if they're not currently engaged. Now as a general habit, no matter what role you're on, take a few seconds and look back at your supports to make sure they're okay during the fight so you can help as needed. And support players are able to pocket each other to buy you time for you to turn around and help them, but that does limit the heals that you're going to receive because they are healing each other and not your team. Another way you can win more games is by tracking enemy support ult. Now this is valuable information for any role that you play, and they are probably easiest to track. Basically, you want to play in a way to scare the enemy healer into ulting early so their team can't get a lot of value out of it, or wasting it. Also, if you know that the enemy team doesn't have any support ult, you can now do your big DPS ult or big tank ult and win the fight. Now this concept can be applied to all of the roles, not just healers. Use your ult to counter another ult, like Namor is able to kill through a lot of support ult. Another thing that can help you win more games is working on your positioning and game sense. Now positioning is pretty easy to learn. No matter where you are in the fight, are you taking too much damage? Are you using cover properly? Where's your team? Where's the enemy team? Are you too far back or are you too far forward? This can apply to any role in the game, but it's something you're gonna have to work on as you play the game more. Now game sense is a little bit easier. This is gonna be working on tracking the enemy ult, knowing when to fall back if you lose a member of your team, knowing when to push up if you kill a member of their team, especially the healers or one of the tanks. And this will also include looking back at your support and seeing if they need any help with dive or if someone is harassing them. And I guess you can also include target priority, knowing when to go for the healers, knowing when to go for the tanks, etc. Working on these core skills alone will improve you as a player in any role and help you win more games. You can win more games on Vanguard by blocking heals. This basically means standing in the front line, but behind the enemy tank. then using your body, if you're an off tank, or your shield to block the enemy heal. Now you do have to coordinate with your team a little bit because you are putting yourself in a vulnerable state, especially if you're going against a tank like Emma, who can grab you and turn your advantage into a disadvantage. If you're playing duelists, try and take off angles or high ground location to help secure kills, turn the fight, and take pressure off the front line from forcing the enemy to look at you. So taking your duelist to the sideline and hitting from different angles can often win you the game without making huge changes to your playstyle. If you're just starting out on Marvel Rivals, one of the best things you can do is learn what the health packs are that spawn on the map. This can not only make you self-dependent and not rely on healers so much, but you can also play off angles on side flanks and not worried about healing so much. With there being a bunch of different maps in Marvel Rivals, best way to learn where the health packs are is just to play the map. Repetition is going to be your solution here, but once you do, you're going to win more fights and win more games.